Alright guys, this will be my 100 sub special. Thank you guys so much. That was my goal. It's like if I wasn't able to reach 100 subs within the first month of putting out these YouTube videos, I was just gonna have them out and then look towards like other things. But I guess a hundred of you beautiful souls out there like the content I produce, and thank you so much for the words of encouragement from a few of the people that have commented. It's much appreciated. That being said, let's get into this. Our like the story, we start off the story like Deku is quirkless. He is born quirkless, just like in canon, and all of the events, like it's same as in canon. Deku is quirkless and grows up quirkless. Our story begins 2 years before the start of the anime. And Deku's coming home after school one day and he's like feeling down and stuff. And because kids like really like picked on him today. It was like this was one of those rough days, you know. Bought with things with Bakugo. This is like about the time where like Deku kind of like starts like he's like this is like really where like their friendship is like really starts to get strained, and he's just like, God, why does he have to be such a jerk and everything? And then everyone's like always picking on me, like, and if I had a quirk, they wouldn't be thinking, they'd probably still pick on me, but not as much. Like, why did I have to like be born without a quirk? And like these thoughts are just going through his head, and then he hears a loud scream, and then he notices that there's a truck that's out of control, and this little girl is just sitting there, and he just moved and like picked the girl up and like kind of threw her out of the way of the truck, and then splat, Deku gets hit by said truck, and he actually dies. Like he dies. Like there's no like, oh, his quirk activated kind of stuff that happens. So he, in his final thoughts, he's like, I'm sorry, Mom, and come and thank you and help my mom. Then all of a sudden, like to Deku, like a bright light flashes, and he's in this weird diner, and he's like this dining hall, and he's thinking, where am I? And at this point, this elderly looking gentleman kind of like walks up to him, and he's like, young man, what were you just thinking? And he's like, well, like, didn't I just? And the gentleman's like, yes, you did indeed die there, young man. But what was that last thought that you had? Care to explain it more? And he's like, he doesn't know this gentleman, and he's kind of freaking out, but he feels kind of compelled to like talk to this guy. Like he can realize like this guy's not like a bad person. So he's thinking that this guy must be like a quirk, like his quirk. This must be part of his quirk or something, where he can teleport people or heal them or stuff, because he's just thinking about like what happened. And then he says, well, I was just thinking like Mom's gonna be sad about this, and like even though my life sucked, like I kind of thank God that I was able to live and grow up with like such a wonderful mom. And this is like, oh, is that so? Well, young man, I can return you back to the world of the living if you want. And this kind of freaks Izuku out, and he's like, wait, what? I'm actually dead? And the gentleman's like, yes, you are. You indeed did die, but it's within my power to like bring you back, to give you back your life. Though, I also have another offer for you. I can give you one wish, and I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it. And then like a few seconds pass by, and then the gentleman's like, "So, what would your wish be?" And Izuku thinks, I wish to save the world." And with that, like he experiences like another flash of bright light, and he's back to a block before like this instant's thinking, and he's like, "What was that? Whoa, that was a weird daydream." And he's like, "What did that just happen? Like, what happened?" And then like he's walking and everything, and then like he's gotten like a little like he slightly like does this a walk of slightly faster than what he did, and he sees like this truck starting to get out of control, and then like he hears like screams, and then like he sees this little girl, and he just runs yet again, picking her up, and right before he gets hit, like he's able to jump out of the way. And this little girl, she's crying and everything, and Izuku's like, "It's okay, like you're okay, like are you hurt?" Like, and Izuku's like really concerned about this, and then like a woman comes running up and grabbing the little girl, and she kind of looks down at Izuku and just goes like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. You saved my little girl. Thank you. Like, what's your name? Like, 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 you like just thank you, like young man. Like, if it wasn't for you, I would have lost my little girl." And Izuku like gets up and kind of like he did scrape like his elbow, because like he kind of like grabbed the girl and jumped out of the way, and like he used his own body to like keep the girl from getting hurt. So he did like receive a little scrapes and everything, and she's like, do you need help and everything?" And he's like, and Izuku's like, "No, I feel fine, but like I do have like some scrapes and stuff. It's nothing serious." And so the woman thanks him again, and he's like, "Whoa, that's kind of weird. Like I could have sworn like he kind of has like a vu moment, and he's just thinking, he's like, did that really happen?" Because like this kind of shocks him, and when he gets home and everything, like he eats dinner, and then like he's up in his room and everything, and he's just thinking, he's like, did that really happen? Like, did I die and then come back? And he's really confused about this. And then his phone rings, and this is where the start of our story of how Deku becomes the greatest hero of all, like the greatest hero in My Hero Academia. And he notices that the like there's no number, but there's like a word, like one word sitting there, and it says Kami. And he's like, "This is kind of weird." So he picks up the phone, and he hears that guy's voice again, and he's thinking, "Wait, it wasn't a dream." And then he says, he he hears the voice again, and he's like, "Yo man, like I couldn't get you back exactly like at the time when you left the world, but anyway, this kind of worked out a little bit better. So like you will." And he goes over like Izuku's power, like what like the divine blessing that he bestowed onto Deku, and he's like, "I kind of like set your thing up," and he's like, "How do I explain this?" And then and Izuku like is like, "Thank you, like I like even if I don't have any special powers or anything, thank you for bringing me back, like thank you." And Kame kind of tells Izuku, he's like, come down, young man. I was just thinking, I was trying to think of how to explain like this blessing to you, and how to like properly do it." And he's like, "Young man, I can give you like the power to save the world, like your wish said." That being said, you can either continue with your life the way it is, but no, you will become a hero regardless. But I can give you the power to make sure that you can become the greatest hero of all time. And Izuku's like, you mean I really can become a hero if I'm not quirkless, if I'm quirkless? And Kami says, yes, you will. But what I'm offering you is not to be one of the greatest heroes of Japan, but the greatest hero of the world. And you can accept my offer or did, but I have returned you to life and you will become a great hero that can save people. And Izuku's like it really would be awesome to be the greatest hero in the world, but if I'm going to become a hero without it, I'd like to politely decline the offer. And Kami starts laughing. He's like, ha ha ha, I was right in choosing you and saving your life. Well, anyway, young Midoriya, I will actually give you the power anyway, because you truly are a pious person. And you truly do believe in helping others. So with that being said, and he explains that he's going to give him something like in a video game. And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I'm going to give you a leveling system. That way you can learn and develop your power in your own way and make it your own, instead of what I'm assuming, like, you don't want to just instantly be granted the power of the world. And Izuku's like, yeah, like, I don't, like, I think a real hero should develop their own power and everything. And Kami's like, that makes me happy, young man. Well, I will send something to your phone, and you'll like it. Oh, also, I wasn't exactly able to get your body right, so you're gonna be slightly stronger at the start. You're a little bit more durable than what you were before, so that we don't have any accidents while you're learning how to control this power. And Izuku's like, what, really? And he's like, yeah, I would say you're about 1.2 of like what you were before. Like, you're not superhuman. You don't have like superhuman abilities. And Kami thinks like, yet. And like, the phone call ends, and then Izuku sees like the screen on his phone light up again, and Nap appears, and he's like, whoa, what is this? Like blessing app? Like, what is this? And he taps it, and a screen comes up, and he's like, whoa, what is this? And he's like looking at this, and he's like, it's like a photo of me, and like it has my name, and then it says stats, background, what? And then he clicks on it, and it gives him like a recent history, and the history reads is like, a pious man that gave his life to save someone else, and in the end, when he was offered to return back to life in a wish, he wished the world to be saved. With this, he gained the blessing of Kami. And then he's like, what does that mean? And then he goes into his stats. Like, he pushes like the stats, and it shows like 2 intelligence, a 2 strength, and everything. And I will go into this leveling system for like a little bit more into the next episode, in the next episode that I should have out either later today or tomorrow. So that being said, we'll get back into this. And he's like, this is weird. Like, is this really happening and everything? And then he goes to bed and he wakes up tomorrow and he's thinking that what happened to him the previous day was just all like a dream, and he's like, was that real? And he's still kind of questioning it, and then he picks up his phone, and the app, Kami's blessing, is or a blessing is like sitting there, and he's like, it wasn't a dream, like, oh my god. And then he opens the app up and he notices at the top of the screen is character profile, and then tutorial, and he clicks it, and he's going over like all the information, and it's explaining to him that yes, your stats are low and they're at the bottom, but you can train them. The more you learn, the more your intelligence and wisdom is increased. The more exercise, like when you exercise, like your strength and your dexterity and your constitution will increase. And with that, he's like, whoa, like that's awesome. So, and he's beginning to think, and he's like, so, like, if I learn more, I can get, like, I can, like, this increases. And then it also, like, below that, he scrolls down a little bit more, and he's like, you can level up this way. Upon leveling, you get 30 stat points to increase, like, any others. And then he flips over to, like, it shows, like, a video of, like, how it works. And then he's just like, whoa, this is awesome. Like, so, and then so over the next 2 years, like, he's slowly, like, gaining levels. And then by the time at the start of the anime, he's learned a little bit more, and he's, like, actually researched different, like, gods and kamis, like, because he's like, he's like, if this person really is, and he's like, he can't find any information about this, so he just thinks it's someone's quirk still. And he's like, whoa, so someone, like, really did do this. And he's learned more information, and he's kind of, like, started looking into different type, like, how heroes fight and everything, and becoming more and more of, like, a big fanboy of heroes. And he looks more into, like, All Might's history, and he's like, wow, All Might really is a hero. Like, he should have gotten this power instead of me. And and this is like when his phone rings again, and he's like, and it's Kami again, and he's like, and man, I knew I made a great choice with you. Like, it's like pops up and there's like a text, and he's like, continue what you're doing, young man, and you're sure to become one of the greatest heroes in the world. And so he's like, whoa, so, like, this really is real. He's been kind of in a daze for, like, the past 2 years, because he's like, he's not really sure, because he doesn't really feel any differently. In, like, the start of the anime, Bakugo's teasing him and everything, and, like, he explodes his book, and he goes to, like, fight Katsuki, but then stands down in canon. And he's like, God, a hero wouldn't have backed down, but also, like, a hero wouldn't aggress on someone because of a personal issue either. And so he goes down, like, in canon, and he's like, that's not food, give it back. And, like, he notices, like, the fish kind of, like, swim away from the book, and, like, he's like, weird. And he gets his book, he slaps it down, and, like, he's just walking with it and everything, and he's like, God, that Kachan guy, he's really become, like, a real jerk. And he's like, why did he have to get born with, like, a quirk and I didn't? Like, it seems like people like that are born with power just don't really get what it's like to be a real hero. And he's just thinking this, and then all of a sudden he hears something, says, watch out. And he, like, looks up, and then he notices like the sludge villains coming at him, and he just instantly like reacts, and he's like jumping out of the way every single time the sludge villain is like attacking him, and he's just kind of dodging it, and the villain kind of does like get a hold of him, and he's like, well, I guess this is it. I guess like I'm leaving the world again. And right when he's thinking that, All Might comes out of the sewer, and he's like, don't fear, for I am here. And he does his signature Detroit smash, and like kind of like while grabbing Izuku, and like the villain is like, he's collecting the villain, and Deku's kind of like fanboying out, and he's kind of like hyperventilating, and All Might comes over and he's like, yo man, come down. It's pretty amazing that you still have all this strength and energy. Like, I could have sworn you were gonna pass out. And Izuku's like, oh yeah, like I wasn't fast enough. I need to work on that, you know, like. And All Might's like, young man, what was that? And Izuku's like, oh, sorry, like you're just like my favorite hero. And All Might's like, yes, I heard that, young man, but what did you just say? And he's like, well, I'm not fast enough, and over the past couple of years, I don't know, like I've gotten, like I'm able to think faster, like I've been able to like start thinking faster and everything. And Izuku goes to, like, say it, and he's like, he stops, and he's like, wait a minute. And at this point, he like, All Might's like, shh. And he's like, oh. And he's like, and then Izuku's like, wait, All Might, like, what's wrong? And then he's like, are you hurt? And then at that instant, All Might like becomes Small Might, and he's like, crap, kid. Wait, how did you know I was hurt? And Izuku's like, wait, I don't know. It kind of felt like something was going on with you. And All Might's like, wait, so you're not surprised about this? And he's like, well, I thought you might be hurt, and if you are hurt, this kind of makes sense that you would kind of like, your body would change. So like, do you have a transformation quirk or an enhancement quirk or something like that? And All Might's kind of like looking at this kid, and he's like, whoa, young man, like you really. And Izuku, he's like, well, young man, like, it was a nice chat with you, but I've got to get this guy to like the police station. So he kind of like, All Might starts to walk away, but then he turns around and he's like, also, young man, you know, like, please keep this a secret, because All Might had explained like how he got his injury and everything, and why that he doesn't want it in the public because it would empower villains and hurt the morale of the people. Excuse me. So Izuku's like, no problem, and like, it's kind of like the reason why I stopped back there. And like, I'm sorry, you could have gotten there faster if you were able to use like, if you were able to like, if you didn't hit your time limit. I'm sorry about that. And I mean, it's like, there's no problem, young man. Like, and by the way, like, what do you want to do in the world, in life? And Izuku's like, well, I want to be a hero, and the reason why I kind of stopped back there because, like, I thought you might be hurt, and also I'm not sure if I should tell people this because I don't know. Like, I think I might have a quirk. I think I might not. Like, it's kind of weird, but in any case, All Might, thank you for the signature. This will be like a family heirloom and everything. And so Izuku and All Might like go their ways, and Izuku's like really happy because he met his idol and everything, and he's like, I definitely can't like let people know All Might's hurt. So he's just smiling and everything, and the whole second sludge villain attack doesn't happen because he never really dropped it. Because All Might kind of like stayed there a little bit longer than what he normally would have in canon because of Izuku, like kind of like fanboying out while he's collecting the Sun's villain and stuff like that. And Izuku is just really happy about this. And he's like, yeah, like he's like I definitely want to become a hero. And then as he's getting near his house, he hears, hold up there, young Midoriya. And he turns around and he's like, All Might, what are you doing here? And he's like, I realized that I didn't really talk to you. Like, you mentioned that you wanted to become a hero and everything. And he's like, yeah, like I really do. Because Izuku would have said it like, I want to be a hero like you and everything. And All Might's like, so what kind of hero do you want to be? And without hesitation, Izuku's like, I want to be a hero that can save everyone. Like you, All Might. Like you always save everyone. I want to be a hero like that. And All Might just begins to laugh, and he's in his Small Might form, and Izuku's like, what's funny? And All Might's like, haha, young Midoriya. And then he explains One for All to him and everything, and he's like, young man, like, you seem like you'd be a worthy successor to my quirk. And Izuku's like, what do you mean, your quirk and successor? And then All Might kind of like explains One for All, and Izuku's like, whoa, that's a pretty cool quirk. Like, you can pass it on to people? And All Might's like, wait, young man, you're not freaked out about that you can transfer quirks. And Izuku's like, well, I kind of like have a similar thing with, and he's like, puts his quotation hands up, my quirk. And then he kind of explains to like All Might like what had happened to him, and All Might's like, whoa, that's pretty interesting. But nonetheless, young man, like, I believe you are the perfect fit for my quirk. It's like, meet me at this beach this weekend. Like, I have some things I have to take care of in town. And like, I definitely, even if you don't want my quirk, because Izuku did express concerns, he's like, well, I already have this power and I don't want to, like, someone else could use that power. Like, I don't necessarily don't really want to, like, take that from someone else. And All Might's like, well, if you don't want my quirk, at least let me train you, young man. And Izuku's like, really? And so they set up to like meet at Deku Beach on the weekend because Izuku still has like some things and like they still have like another week of school before they're let out for their break. So Izuku's like thinking like the rest of the week. He's like, oh my god, like I met All Might and he's gonna train me. This is gonna be awesome. And he begins to think about Katsuki, and he's like, no, like he would just be a jerk about it and everything. And he's like, no, I won't tell him. But I really do need to like kind of talk to him at some point. So at this, we are coming up on the 30-minute mark. I want to thank Kid Zeus because I really was trying to think of like how to do this, and at the time I was thinking about Smite because I just watched a video about an update of one of the characters in that game. And I was watching his video, and how he starts out his new series kind of like made me think, and it's like, oh, like I could do it this way and that way. So I give him credits for the inspiration for the start of this. And please do go check out his channel because he's a really good YouTube whatever, and he does all kinds of what ifs. Like he does My Hero Academia, he does Black Clover. I can't remember. I'd have to go through his videos again and see if he's done like a DBZ what if, but he has done a My Hero Academia crossover with with DBZ, I believe. So that being said, thank you guys again. Thank you guys so much for 100 subs, and I really do hope you guys like this. I have been trying to think of like how to do a unique leveling system. So in the next episode, we'll go over the how Izuku exactly levels and a few other things involving the system. And then we'll cover like a month or two of like the training at Dagobi Beach. So with that being said, thank you for all the subs, like, subscribe, and comment down below if you enjoyed the video. With that, see you guys in the next video. Hi, I'm back again. I forgot to mention, please do comment down in below how, like, any special ability that you would like Izuku to have, and the one that gets the most likes will I will write it into the story, but it like no like OP power like matter manipulation or something like that, because like this isn't a what if Deku was like OP. This is a story of how Deku becomes the greatest hero in the world. So that being said, like I have 3 classifications. It can be some type of healing quirk. How about we do this? Like comment 1 for a healing, like a healing ability, like healing abilities, or no, just calm down. Comment a power down below, and if you see something that someone not that you kind of think is cool, like it, and I will put it into the story. With that being said, thank you guys again so much for the 100 subs.